Hi, welcome to Object Lesson 2. We've looked at Christmas lights and the hope that they give us, and now we're going to look at the second object. And my question is, what do you put on the top of your Christmas tree? We all have them, favourite decorations. This is an angel, and I think most people like to have an angel on the top of the tree. And I've got quite a few of them because I like little angels and I like to have them hanging on the tree. And I've even got this rather sweet one who's carrying a little star and she's got a little halo. Or maybe you like something like this, a stocking to remind you that you're going to get some nice presents. Or something quirky, rather like this sheep that reminds me of the shepherds. Birds are quite popular nowadays, and this little owl can sometimes sit in my tree, but he's a little bit top heavy and he usually doesn't last very long. And you might even have a very special decoration like this one, which has got all our family members with our names on. There's little penguins with a snowman, which I rather like. Or even hearts that remind us of God's love, or little presents that remind us of the gift. But for me, there's only one thing that goes on the top of the tree, and I bought this really rather tacky one to show you. I like a star. I think there's something about a star on top of the Christmas tree that's really important. And the reason is it's central to the Christmas story. And I'm going to go straight into the reading. It's well known from Matthew chapter 2. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who's been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he had called together all the peoples, chief priests and teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. "In Bethlehem, in Judea," they replied, "for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time that the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me, so that I too may go and worship him." After they had heard the king, they went on the way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. So the star was the sign in the sky of a promise fulfilled. The Messiah that had been long promised was born, and the star led the wise men to it. And for me, the star is a sign of promise. Whenever I see a star, I think of those wise men travelling a long way because they knew that what was at the end of their journey was worth the effort. And I don't know, maybe today or this week you can start thinking about stars. I suggest you make a star and write some promises on it that you're grateful to God for. Or maybe just put a star in your house somewhere. I'm going to put this on our dining room table so that we actually think about the star every day and remember that we have a God who gave us a sign that his promise was fulfilled. Now, to help you with this, I've got a song. Again, there'll be information at the bottom of the video, and it's called "Follow That Star." And Paul Baloche sings as if he is a wise man, and he's spent all of his life wondering what he's doing. He's looking in the sky and he's seeing all the stars, and suddenly something miraculous happens. A special star, a unique star that God has brought. And he says, "In the quiet of the night, under the wide expanse of sky, I am alone and asking questions. Why? What's this longing in my heart? What's the reason for my life? And this solitary light is shining, calling." And he talks about following the star, and he says, "Like the light of early dawn, I see the promise there beyond, and a hope within begins to rise. Love is calling to my heart." So for him, he thinks of the star as a sign of the promise of what we are following in our lives, which is Jesus, the Messiah. So this week, star. You had the hope of last week's Christmas lights, and this week you have the star to remind you of the sign of the promise fulfilled.